interesting because what we're saying is if we, a Jewish rhythm, we can only, so let's say we can only achieve a sense of Jewish rhythm either in Israel, which is debatable, or in Jewish day schools. That's kind of the way that was set out. First of all, is that true? And that's kind of what Shira was saying, is like, maybe for the time being, that's true. Like, maybe right now, the best thing, the most consistent rhythm tool that we have to infuse our youth is Jewish day school. Are there other models? Like, I think what's happening, personally what I did at the beginning here with this community, is things I learned in informal education that I've brought into formal education. Can informal education take things from formal education? Can this be the fluid dialogue that you were talking about? And like, one of the main challenges that we talked about is, well, there's a huge financial thing. It's like, well, there's really, the fluidity kind of stops at like tuition. Like, there's no fluidity in that unless we have a gigantic endowment that you were talking about, which brings us to some of our challenges. So it's kind of like we do think in these dichotomies because we sort of have to. It's not like, well, I'm going to kind of send my kid to Jewish day school and kind of let my kid have a public school experience. Like, you really have to choose. Or as a teacher, I'm going to, and by the way, Jewish day school teachers in New York City get paid less than public school teachers.
Here too.
That happens across the country.
So that's also an issue that I wanted to put out on the table as an educator.
Right.
But the idea is, like, which was the initial question that someone, I can't remember who asked, the question is this an investment that I want to make? And like, and maybe as a larger Jewish community, is this the investment that we want to make? And if so, why? And we talked about the challenges of it, which I'd love to, if anybody else wants to.
Can we use that to segue into some of those challenges? Sure. Something doesn't